And it's 100 pounds and the register I dropped. Bitches and knocked that whole piece out. So what's good? What's good?
Once you put your entire community as the face of everything ratchet and ghetto, no wonder people are going to look at us when we walk out of our house and assume that that is how we behave. If you want someone to succeed, if you want someone to be better, what do? If you've ever been in a sport, your coach is going to tell you where you are messing up. Why? So that you can be better. Does your coach go to the other team and then start coaching them on how to be better? Telling them where they're messing up? Is that what a coach does? I'm genuinely asking. Is that what a coach does? If you are on one team and you're screwing up, does your coach then go over to the opposing team, to other team, and then go coach them on how to be better? Is that what they do? I don't think they do. Okay? I don't think that's what coaches do. Coaches go to their team and they point out areas where their team can do better. So this is what I'm gonna need us as Black people to stop doing. Stop with this what about white people nonsense, because it's not gonna help you. It's not gonna save you. And it's so interesting how, you'll have a Black content creator that is sitting here and focused on our community and how we can better our community, pointing out different areas where we are lacking and giving examples of the behavior so that you're seeing that it's not just made up. We see real life examples of the nonsense that we've been talking about. And the first thing people, well, you don't say anything about white people. You're not saying anything about white people. Why aren't you saying something about those people? If we're trying to fix our problems, if we want our community to do better, we need to focus on ourselves. If a coach is going to run to the other team and try to tell them what to do better, guess what the coach is not doing? Making their team better. So I really want us to come to this conversation on the right terms. This has nothing to do with trying to make it seem like every other community is better than ours. No, your mind goes to that because you have a victim mentality. That's the reason why folks, when they hear Black people critiquing other Black people, they run to go say the COON word because they have that victimized mentality where if you are slightly critical of someone who is victim in the mind, they're gonna take that as an attack, even though it's criticism. Now, I'm not gonna say that there aren't Uncle Toms. Of course there are. But what we're not gonna do is pretend like every single time someone is critical of the community, critical of Black people, that it's automatically racism and that it's automatically Uncle Tom nonsense. That's not that's not how this works. Exactly, it's Brian J. It's like focusing on your neighbor's yard, but your own yard is a complete mess. Thank you. Exactly. I want us to solve these problems. It's going to be very difficult and it's going to take a long amount of time, but the best thing that we can do is to make sure that we are speaking up about all the things that we're seeing, okay? Be very vocal about it, and then also try to get to the younger generations because, it's very hard, okay? It's very hard to change the minds of people whose minds have been made up. But with the younger generation, give them access to information so that they can see that there is another way to go about being a Black person without being a victim. This victim mindset, it comes from, and I'm gonna be fair here. It comes from a history of victimization. So we're not going to pretend like slavery didn't happen. We're not going to pretend like, Jim Crow didn't happen. We're not going to pretend like those things did not happen. We're aware that they happened. Those were instances where Black people in mass were victimized. It's a historical fact. The problem comes in, not in the fact that we recognize our history, but in the fact that we use our history as a shield for any accountability. It's like, well, we were slaves. What does that have to do with you not changing the batteries in your damn smoke alarm? Oh, we were slaves. Okay, well, what does that have to do with you wasting the money that you get back in your tax return on nonsense and then complaining that you don't have money to feed your family? We can't keep going back to the problems of old to somehow, scapegoat our accountability for where we're at now. Okay, we want to sit over here and we want to say, well, the CIA, they put the crack in the community. They put the crack in the community. You know that, right? But guess what? We had to take it. Now, I'm not talking about people that were maybe drugged without their knowledge. There were a lot of people that took it willy-nilly, took it of their own volition. And rather than dealing with that, rather than dealing with why we put ourselves in different situations, why we fall for the bait every single time, rather than dealing with that, it's always, well, they did this to us. Well, they did this to us. And it's like, you really give up all your power when you say that. I want us to get to a place where we can look at the problems that we're having, and rather than deflect to, oh, racism, oh, slavery, oh, this, oh, that, rather than deflect to that, actually deal with what is within our control. Because I don't know about you, I don't have no damn time machine, okay? I don't have a time machine. I can't go back into the past and get all the white slave owners and the black slave owners and give them a little piece of my mind. I can't do that. I don't have that technology. And even if I did, I don't know if I would, because butterfly effect, you never know what would happen. You change the smallest thing in history, you have no idea what would happen. I want us to understand, you cannot change what happened in the past. So sitting over here focusing on, if you hear that, that's baby girl, she's mimicking everything I'm saying, so I need to watch my words. If you are constantly focusing on things that happened in the past and scapegoating accountability to, well, this happened back then, then you are removing your sense of agency. You're removing your ability to do better. Because if you're constantly thinking, well, this is because of somebody else, I mean, what's the point in doing anything? What's the point in making choices if your choices aren't going to affect anything that happens, anything that you're doing? See, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to be so focused on the past that you're not dealing with the decisions that you're making, the choices that you do have. We have real problems that we can solve, okay? We can't solve slavery back in the day. We can't do that. No time machine, at least not yet. We can't solve that. But what can we solve? It's the little things. Whether that is us not getting on the internet and embarrassing ourselves by over-sexualizing ourselves every single time there's a booty shaking challenge, okay? That's a small baby step. Don't shake tail. Sorry, I have to watch my words. Don't shake tail on the internet. We can start there. Stop doing that. Start doing that. We can start cleaning up our image. We can stop supporting gangs who deteriorate our communities. We can start there too. Hell, we can start by just putting some damn batteries in our smoke alarm. Baby steps. Rather than sitting over here focusing on, well, we were slaves, well, this was this and this was that. Focus on what we can do. We can talk to one another and rebuild community, rebuild the Black family, start marrying the people that you're having children with, or at least having a committed relationship where y'all in the same house and y'all taking care of house and home together. I'm not a stickler for contracts with the government, but I'm saying that commitment there to your family. We need to focus on what is within our control. What's in our control is also to stop caping for those of us who are bottom of the barrel. That's the part that really gets on my nerves the most, is that you will have a plethora of Black folks that do not behave in a ghetto, ratchet manner. They don't behave that way at all. But they will sit over here and throw the cape on for those that do. Oh, you can't criticize them. You're just adopting white Eurocentric standards. Not everything good is Eurocentric, right? Being polite is not a Eurocentric thing. It's just a human thing. And then they wonder why. And I want to pull up some of these examples for you guys. They want to associate everything that's positive with being white, but then get mad. Okay, folks will really get mad at these videos that are coming up. I'm gonna show you guys. They'll get mad when we see on Twitter that they're showing us what acting Black looks like. After we've spent all this time saying that speaking properly and being decent and polite and quiet is being white. Okay, you're being white. Now look at what they're saying is Black. All right, let's go ahead and see what sounding Black sounds like.
Bitch, you go right now? Bye-bye. All y'all niggas.
She's, what the fuck? You're like 100 pounds.
Weirdo.
There's usually
And
N-word.
it's 100 pounds and the register I dropped. Bitches and knocked that whole pink out. So what's good? What's good? What's good? Come on.
Is it like trailer bitches that you want to met?
I'll
Have teeth to begin with?
I'll beat your ass.
You don't scare me.
Come on.
Go the fuck around. You won't say it again, right? That's how you won't say it again, right?
Come on.
Say it again.
Already fighting nobody.
Y'all fucking touched me, you weird ass bitches. Y'all touched me, you weird ass.
that is now acting black. This ratchet, loud, obnoxious, rude, aggressive. This is what they're saying acting black is. And see, we can't get mad because every single time we saw a black person that was well-spoken, well-read, we call them an Oreo. We call them white. Why you acting white? Obviously, this is going to be what they denote as acting black because we put out that the opposite is acting white. And that's the unfortunate part. Once you put your entire community as the face of everything ratchet and ghetto, no wonder people are going to look at us when we walk out of our house and assume that that is how we behave. But you will have black folks that do not behave that way. But they'll co-sign it. And they'll say, oh, well, you just want to hold them to Eurocentric standards. Do you realize what you're equating with Eurocentrism? You're equating law and order. You're equating being a proper human being. You're equating decency to Eurocentrism. As messed up as their history is, okay? I took European history. I know all about the tea. But y'all are equating that to being like decent human beings. Stop doing that. Of course, the opposite is going to be said about black acting black. When you say being proper is being white. That victim mentality, it always seeps into everything because they'll see someone make a post like that and they'll be like, oh, well, she's being racist. Well, you did it to yourself. All these years, damn near decades, saying that being proper was white. This is the obvious reaction to that. There is a lot within our control. A lot. We can put in the work, right? We can put in the work to do better. We can put in the work to be better, but we're not going to be better. We're not going to do better unless we shake that victim mentality. Did you guys see, and I know this is kind of old tea at this point, but there was this whole story that blew up about Serena Williams. And apparently she was in some kind of hotel and they had a cotton plant as decoration. And she was saying that she felt victimized. She felt uncomfortable because there was a cotton plant. I can understand if somebody, I guess, showed up to her hotel room and handed her a thing of cotton. I can understand that. I can understand you being upset at that. Them having a cotton plant as decor, and it looks actually really cool. I'm not even gonna lie. The cotton plant looked really cool. This actually looks kind of cool. Like, if I'm being honest, it looks kind of cool. What are you talking about? You felt victimized because they had cotton decor at a hotel? I can understand if someone handed you this and was like, here, go pick the cotton. Sure, I can understand that. But them just having the decor there, this is a nothing burger. And see, they wonder why they call us victim-minded, where you take something that is not a problem, a non-issue, and you turn it into an issue. You turn it into some kind of racial attack. And then you wonder why we are also always called victims. This is victim behavior. You can't call it anything but that, because that's what it is. When you're a victim, you're constantly looking everywhere to see where somebody is hurting you. People who are victim-minded, they're constantly evaluating everybody else. Are they hurting me? Are they doing that to me? Are they doing this to me? Are they doing that to me? Are they doing this to me? Are they doing that to me? You're so focused on everybody else that you're not even thinking about your own choices and what you're doing, how you're showing up in the world. It's always somebody else's fault. It's about making a scene so that everyone can pity you and feel sorry for you. We need to stop giving social capital to perpetual victims. That's what we need to do. Stop giving them social capital. And the part about it that makes it such an op, I feel like people in the media, people that are big celebrities and stuff like that, or even some people that are in social media, influencers, I honestly feel as though they will go out of their way to pretend to be a victim about something, all in the effort to basically water down racism. When you cry racism when it's not there, it's just like the boy who cried wolf. People stop giving a damn. It no longer has its punch. When you do call something out that is racist, that is wrong, that is bigotry, nobody's gonna give a damn. Nobody's gonna think twice about it. And the reason why is because all these years we keep saying, oh, this is racism, oh, that is racism, a white girl wearing blue jeans is racism. We call everything racism to the point where nothing's racist anymore. No one cares. So when we actually are victimized, people are just like, oh, they're just complaining again. It's just the blacks, they're constantly victims. Ignore it. You desensitize the entire world to racism by calling everything racist. So people who normally would be like, you know what, I'm reasonable, bigotry, I can tell when someone's being bigoted. After seeing everything get called racist, people just stop caring. They don't want to be involved. They'll just sit, point, laugh, and move on. If we were tactful and only called out racism when it truly existed, where you can, without a shadow of a doubt, say that it's not this, it's not that, this is something that is racially targeted, all of that. If we only gave our attention and hyped up situations where that was the case, we knew without a shadow of a doubt it was racism, it would be taken seriously. But that's not the case. And that's because a lot of us, we're stuck in that victim mentality. And, the white liberals, they feed into it even more. They want to keep us in a victim mindset. They want us to look at them as our saviors. Oh, we got to stand up for the blacks. People only talk to you like that when they think less of you, when they think of you as lower than, less than, and we just eat it up. We hype up the white folks that sit over here and basically call us stupid to our face, saying that we're so dumb we can't get IDs to go vote, saying that they need to put Glorilla's tiny ass in our face to get us to go vote. Get your booty to the poll and vax that thing up. Oh yeah, the blacks will love that. It reminds me of Everybody Hates Chris, his teacher. That's what it reminds me of every single time. That racist broad. That's what it reminds me of. I really want us to wake up and understand the power that we do have. The power that we have in making choices, making different choices. We get so caught up in this, well, you just want to be white. You just want to have Eurocentric standards. Whenever we're doing correction, whenever we're talking about corrective behavior, whenever we call out ratchet, ghetto, hood rat nonsense, you're just trying to promote Eurocentric. Shut the hell up. Know where you are. If I'm in China, I'm going to move a certain way so that I don't cause problems, so that I can get the best, get the most out of my experience. That's what I'm going to do. Right now, guess where we are? We are in America, and America has its own rules. And a lot of those rules we were foundational in helping to create. That's the part that I can't wrap my mind around. American culture, a lot of American culture is Black culture. So what are we talking about? Saying that it's all Euros? It's not. The culture of America is a combination of, yes, the European settlers that came over here, but also the slaves, our ancestors, the natives, all of that. It's a combination of all of that. We are part of creating this very culture that we're saying is Eurocentric. Go over to Europe. I want all these people that are saying that the rules and regulations that we have here are European. I want them to take their ass to Europe and then report back to me after they done seen what it's actually like over there. Go across the pond, see how they actually get down over there, and then come back. We have different ways of life, so it's not Eurocentric. America has its own thing, and it was built off the backs of, yes, European immigrants, but then also us, our ancestors, our foundational Black ancestors. We all contributed to the culture of America. I want us to get to a place where we can critique ourselves and not just run to, well, you're just trying to racism. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. I'm just be honest. I don't want to hear that shit. Nobody else wants to hear it either. Nobody cares. And the more we continue to try to force people to care about a damn hotel lobby having a cotton plant as a piece of decoration, the more we try to force people to give a damn about things that don't matter, stupid things, the more people are not going to care about the things that do matter, things that are causing a problem.